What's up, guys? It's Jughead here, just a down-to-earth guy trying to bring you some down-to-earth content. Welcome back to our Let's Watch Hunter x Hunter series. Today we're going to be watching episode 51, A Brutal Battle, I believe is the title of today's episode, which has me excited because the title of the episode like that, plus reading in the comments some of you telling me that episode 51 is where it really gets hype, where it really just takes off and we go soaring, where things just come all at us. So I assume you're excited for this episode, which makes me excited for this episode, and especially knowing that, okay, we have Silva and Zeno on their way because they were hired by the Mafia. So when are they coming? We have Gon and Killua have escaped the Phantom Troupe headquarters with what's his name, Nobunaga, having escaped him, so he's after them, as well as the rest of the Phantom Troupe chasing the chain user. And we have Gon and Killua trying to find Kurapika so they can get trained by Kurapika, so our squad is coming back together. It's just gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy for sure. I hope this episode is just gonna be a gold mine for discussion afterwards. I'm just so excited. So much so that I'm gonna shut the hell up and we're gonna get into Hunter x Hunter episode 51 and see how brutal this battle is. Or are we gonna be leading up to it? Who knows? So, Hunter x Hunter episode 51, A Brutal Battle. Before we get started, like to support the series, subscribe if you haven't already, join us on our journey. With that out of the way, in 3, 2, 1, let's watch. I assume perhaps this is going to be Gon and Killua traveling. Never mind. Her and her shopping sprees. Playing guard duty on her shopping sprees. Take the easy job. We shall skip this intro. Let's just get to the meat and potatoes. Brutal battlefield. Oh, a brutal battlefield. Not a brutal battle, brutal battlefield. We're at the airport again. So, I forgot. Light wanted Neon to return to him, right? So they're in charge of the security to get her back home safely. But the Phantom Troupe know her face now. So the airport might be a place you might want to look first. Oh yeah. Professionals. Kurapika knows the Zoldyck name. I don't know if Silva knows that Kurapika is the friend that came to rescue him. He is willing to sacrifice everything. Yes, he is. His own heart on the line. Hey, some people get it, some people don't. That is why he is more powerful. Those conditions, those vows. Many ways to spend a life. Uh-oh, what the hell happened? How does she disappear in a bathroom? Oh. Oh, God. Yep, there we are. Is that going to be a Phantom Troupe member? Who the hell? Oh, there we go. The sick purple silk. Kurapika. Oh, they're meeting face to face. They're meeting face to face. Ooh. I want to see their dynamic. I want to see them work together as a trio. What is this, Reservoir Dogs? It's not a color, it's my goddamn names. We're not afraid of identification. Everybody knows who we are anyways. Zoldyck. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Ooh. Yeah, you know Killua's family now. Hell yeah. Father and grandfather. Yeah, why are we talking about such petty, irrelevant shit like what we're gonna call each other? Don't help if you get killed right away. Only people experienced enough. Kurapika has killed a Phantom Troupe member. Didn't Killua say that his father fought the Phantom Troupe as well? Okay, Baldy, calm down. True. I'm not jealous of that facial hair. Not jealous of that fat ass head. Not jealous of them small ass stupid glasses. I would watch your goddamn tone if I were you. He's spitting. Unless she dies. Because now she's on her own. Yes, not even a thank you. Yes, I will. Wow. Hey, sounds like Chicago. I'm all used to the political corruption. And now those people know her, they're tracking her, she's screwed. Gonna get kidnapped. I respect that, how straightforward he is. Very blunt and straightforward. Not gonna hide information from his superior. No lies, nothing. What if she has a pass? Or what if she doesn't even make it there in time because they've already kidnapped her? Who the hell is that? Oh god. That's CHROLLO, right? Uh-oh. I was gonna say, what are you talking about? That's Shalnark, right? Yep. Fucking manipulator, literally. Gonna be some fucking Ouija board action? It's gonna point to her location? That is insane. You're just out to dinner with this dude? Does she even know that she's talking about Nen or no? I forget. Of course your last name's Lucifer. Yeah, because you are the boss. Oh, he's gonna see the Nen, though. He's gonna see that she's a specialist. He sees it. Using Gyo? That is an insane ability. I thought the extent would... I didn't even think it could track. I thought the extent was going to be like the lie detector. And she doesn't remember any of this, right? Wow, okay. So each verse is a week? I wish I could read it. Oh, there we go. The calendar loses a precious component. Remaining months gather to mourn. Because Uvo's dead, the mourners play a melody, while the 11th moon quietly rises. Okay, 11th. Does that have to do with something with the members? Oh yeah. Does that mean Uvo is dead? How many members in the Phantom Troupe are there? Weren't there 12? Or something? God damn it, I don't know. I don't know if this is saying that Uvo is dead or saying that Hisoka is a imposter. Because I couldn't comprehend it. To a Requiem for the dead. Do you believe in the afterlife? No. It's meant to help you, not the dead. Huh. This is kind of going over my head. I think I'm going to need help with an explanation. Or else I'm going to need to watch this like maybe another time, 2 more times. To really understand it. So do you spin the negative in a positive way? Hmm. Oh, so she was moved so much by her environment or about the world that it probably made her a specialist? Oh, because there's 12 months in a year. 12 members. The 11th moon quietly rises. The chrysanthemum withers and falls to lie on the ground beside bloody scarlet eyes, Kurapika. but you will remain supreme, even after losing half your limbs. Enjoy the interlude. Search out new allies. East is the direction to go. You will find one who awaits you. Huh? Oh, that's nice. Okay, so Scarlet Eyes is Kurapika. I'm sure that has to mean that, yep, one of your guys is dead, Uvo is dead, time to mourn. Still thinks Uvo is watching over. Uh-oh, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? You just knocked her ass out? With a punch? Was that a special move? You can't even get some paramedics in? Hey, he's really acting this up. Oh, so they're gonna know that. Oh, are they gonna see what he did? What the hell? Yeah, let's super zoom on this. Oh my. Damn, reminds me of that scene from The Incredibles. Coincidence? I think not. Are they gonna see CHROLLO? What did he do? So is he an enhancer because of how fast that movement was? Let's deduce member of the Phantom Troupe. No, you won't. But now you have his face on camera, so just watch out for him. Or what did he did something to her. People are about to die. He did something, dude. Who the hell is this guy? By leaving a scent that only another killer would catch. Okay. Is that one of the assassins? Ah. We're showing blood now, okay. I do want to see Sphinx in action. We only saw him once when he killed what's his name? What was that? I want to see that image again. Oh, go absolutely. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 was Uvo, CHROLLO is 12. Yep. So it was about the troop. Ram right through him. Damn. Shizuku, Road Rager. They don't care about getting impaled by bullets? This music is insane. The guns. Bring the guns out. The remaining months gather to mourn. Oh, shit. He just breaking necks. What the fuck? Holy shit. Oh, okay, yeah, I want to see her in action too. That's insane. The puppeteer. He's just doing nothing. Not even worth his time. He wants to fight the strong ones. What the fuck? Does it eat him? But you stay alive? That's sick. As in both wicked and disgustingly savage. How does your imagination even come up with that? He has to be a specialist then. Or maybe, wait, conjurer? Total badass. Tits out, guns out. Phaeton, I think, is like one of the coolest. I love assassin characters. Uvo, can you hear us? I know, the dichotomy. Sad, but carnage. The end of the episode, what the fuck, dude? This song goes hard, though. So, let's discuss. You don't know how hard it was for me to not have this be a double episode video. You were totally right. For the people in the comments of previous videos that said this episode gets you so hyped for what's to come and what's to come immediately, because there's no more waiting. That's why it was so hard to not just say, fuck it, we're watching another one. I couldn't do it. I want to dedicate one video per episode. I need to discipline myself with Hunter x Hunter, because Hunter x Hunter deserves one video per episode. With the depth of conversation we're having now, and it's only going to progress the further we progress through the series, I'm so excited. I'm not disappointed at all for the things that I thought were going to happen in this episode, and they didn't, because if anything, there might have been way too much going on if we also had Gon and Killua, Kurapika action, Zoldyck action, etc., all happening alongside everything we did watch in today's episode. And I'm trying to think of the other episodes where my favorite duo was absent, but I think this has to be my favorite episode in the series, where we are without them. Because, like, seriously, there were scenes in this episode with CHROLLO in particular that are some of my favorite of the entire series so far. Like, absolutely masterfully constructed and directed. My jaw dropped. I had goosebumps on my arms and the back of my head and neck. My eyes were glued to the screen. except for the moments I was looking at the camera to be like, are y'all seeing this shit? Certain moments you saw, I was legit fucking speechless and just full of awe and wonder. So many thoughts running through my mind. It was sensory overload while I'm simultaneously trying to keep up with reading subtitles and watching the animation while I'm still trying to comprehend and process everything. It's like, it's taxing. There were stretches and moments of I have to pure beauty in storytelling that I need to compliment here in the beginning. I love stories. That's why my channel exists. I love to draw, and I create characters or stories in a drawing. I love music, and I listen to songs like stories a lot of the time, and I enjoy writing, whether it be poetry or writing fiction. I think the joy there is in expressing yourself or an idea or anything really through writing is kind of unmatched in that regard. There is an indescribable beauty in writing. I'm going to keep using that word beauty. I feel proud when I find myself able to use the same words anyone else can, but give a message or express an emotion or just convey what others cannot with that arsenal of words. Tagashi is a ninth degree black belt master at this, okay? And I can see it so clearly. It's so apparent and obvious what passion and experience and wisdom he has that seeps and bleeds into his writing. His imagination can shape even the seemingly most mundane and boring into something special and memorable. The characterization of Kurapika, are you kidding me? The conversations we've had around that. I could write a thesis on Kurapika, and I'm only a third of the way through the series. Killua and his dynamic as a Zoldyck. Hisoka's philosophy. The Phantom Troupe, come on. You know, assassin brute thieves who enjoy killing without hesitation or remorse. You know, on the surface, you look at them and they form a collection of these static, predictable, archetypal antagonist characters that should just be torturously simple and shallow, but they are instead expertly crafted with a ridiculous level of precision and expertise. They are complex, they are fascinating. You want them to appear on screen, and not just for the action, but to hear them speak. None of them spoke a word this episode besides for CHROLLO, and this episode was a perfect example to highlight why Tagashi is a master. He could characterize these individuals without a single word necessary. Like, I just know this is how it looked in the manga, just looking at the animation. They were inspired by the illustrated panels, no doubt. Franklin revealing a smile when he opens fire. Finks already setting his gaze on the next victim before he's even finished killing the one already in his grasp. Seeing them as nothing but fodder. Phaeton is calculated and swift, expressionless. Shalnark appears to not enjoy killing, but revels more in the success of his more clever antics. Shizuku would rather not be bothered. Get back to her book. Pakunoda looks like she prefers the intimate kill, close quarters, but strictly business. No dialogue, no words, no sounds. Only the melody of Mozart's Requiem fills the air, fills your ear space. Madhouse, give props to them. Madhouse does Tagashi's writing style and the manga justice for sure, right? Like you tell me. I've not read too deeply into the manga so far because I'm so devoted to the anime right now. But you tell me, though, I predict the answer is a resounding yes. But let's jump into the story here, though. So, Kurapika, he's been promoted. He's officially become an assassin, murder for hire. He's the baby of the group, has to be the youngest one there, I imagine, and a rookie in this field as everyone else has been in that profession. He's literally just become one. Again, been promoted. This is your position now. This is the job I'm giving you. And he's brushing elbows with Silva and Zeno. That has me so hyped. Household names, practically. Like, this is a family business spanning generations. Everybody knows the Zoldyck name. Kurapika recognizes the name Zoldyck. He knows this is Killua's family. He's only seen Killua in action once. Well, technically twice in the final stage, but more so, what I mean is he's only seen Killua in action once, ripping a man's heart out ages ago, back in Trick Tower. But like he never saw Heaven's Arena, his Heaven's Arena escapades, or anything else. But he can only guess the power these two possess. But Kurapika, I think, is high on the food chain in this room. Nobody in that room knows it yet, but I hope they found out and are told in some capacity that Kurapika killed arguably the strongest member of the troop, Uvogan. And strength, and as I means in power enhancer. Take him seriously. He deserves your respect. Nobody else in there besides the Zoldicks could say that, I assume. If I recall again from, it was either a possible spoiler in the comments that I mistakenly read or the mods missed, not or I forget if I actually learned it myself and we watched it and it happened. Like I feel like there was some clarification where I got full context in one of the recent episodes, but didn't Killua say his father fought the Phantom Troupe before? Because how else would Silva know that no money is worth it, is worth that contract? He has to have a reason to say no to a contract. So Kurapika knows the Zoldicks, and I can imagine Kurapika can easily take one semi-extended look at Silva and assume he's Killua's father. But while Silva did know 3 of Killua's friends were strong enough to enter through the estate's testing gate, he doesn't know the name Kurapika, only the name Gon. But as expected from both parties, Kurapika is a lone warrior, and let me stress, warrior, Kurta clan warrior, so an assassin with warrior training. Let's not sleep on that combo. But Kurapika operates alone. Same for Silva and Zeno. They don't work in teams, not outside the family, just not how they do business. Why would they need help? They're literally a famous assassin family. Everybody in that room knows who they are and are intimidated by them. Let alone, once you hear the rest of the group start talking about naming each other by colors, yeah, I'd be like, fuck this shit. They're already dead. Forget them. Like, we're after the Phantom Troupe here. And the first thing your agenda when we are all in the same room together is picking out nicknames. God. Like, you can literally take a tourist bus to visit their house. They ain't a secret. If anything, they want to be known. Nothing to fear. No hesitation. This is my name. That's his name. We're good. Plus, Kurapika has a relationship with an inside man infiltrating the group, an ally, Hisoka. Come on. I cannot wait for all of this to come together. And when you just think about it, all the people come together, all the threads, all the connections. Killua and Gon are searching for Kurapika. They know he is the chain user who killed a Phantom Troupe member. Kurapika has met Killua's family and is working on the same contract as him. Gon and Killua know Hisoka. Hisoka is working with Kurapika. So Killua will likely maybe see his father and grandfather. And all will be involved in whatever combat occurs together. However, Killua isn't embracing his assassin side as much anymore. Protecting Gon is the only time you see it come out. He made a vow with his father to never betray his friends, but his father is also counting on him to do just that and return home. So my thing is, say Killua is in the middle, and Gon is on one side and his family's on the other one, and both are in immediate danger, lives are at risk, or he has to choose one or the other. Who is he choosing? Hisoka and Illumi are technically working together or are colleagues. They know each other. I don't know the extent to how they work together. We know there is complications between Illumi and Killua that could rise up and occur here soon. And Maluki is traveling here too, remember. I almost forgot about that. Gon and Killua told the Phantom Troupe they know nothing of the Chain User, which they do now, so they can't be caught. And what if they get seen with Kurapika and they're like, oh, they're buddy-buddy, so they are together. They escaped Nobunaga, who might be after them, but the entire Phantom Troupe, the rest of them, is after the Chain User, which they're trying to find, so it's kind of like a rat race. Who gets there first and what lines are going to cross? Everyone is hunting one another. Hunter, hunter. It's literally like a star falling in on itself right now. There's so much gravity and it's about to explode in a supernova. That's how much potential energy we have here. I'm just anticipating the trigger point. Now, you know who I didn't like in this episode and who I increasingly dislike just flat out in general? Neon. Neon sucks, okay? I'm slowly approaching the point where I want her to just be killed off or something, just die. She's making the life of the Mafia and her father and Kurapika and everyone involved way too complicated, man. Your willful, bratty daughter thinks she can just be some free spirit butterfly. She's either completely ignorant or even more naive to her position and the family she's a part of. Like, yeah, you may not like the fact you're the daughter to a mob boss. You don't get to choose your family. And in the mafia underworld, but you can't just run away and fuck everything up, okay? We were just chilling, sitting, listening to Basho and Melody having a nice conversation that I was really invested in, really engaged with about, seeing the world, experiencing what the world has to offer and your life. Basho wants to travel across the world on his motorcycle. He can't understand why Kurapika would pretty much sign his life away, put his life on the line that way for his work, for his power. It's an interesting concept to raise, the value or worth you place on your life if you are essentially out to either end up killing yourself or living the rest of your life with that at risk of you doing so. Such a level of commitment to your cause or your goal. Basho, he has an admirable view on life. But as Melody remarks, there are many different ways one can view life and its value, the meaning to life and how to spend it. Life is the one game you put all your chips on the table, the house wins at the end. We're all dying. Your life is your own. Your body is your own temple. It's the beauty of free will and life. It's your choice. Being alive means winning the right to say anything you want, be who you want to be, and do what you want to do. And this gets spoiled. This whole nice interaction, this characterization as Neon decides to run away. And who does she get picked up by? Fucking Chrollo, who is looking damn good, I gotta say. He looks equally charming as he does badass. His hair looks sick. He should rock that headband and let that hair down more often. And that's what I really liked. Seeing Chrollo in a different light, in a different setting as we have for these new moments. Because he's been such a damn enigma, just sitting back in those low lit shadows, reading his mysterious book that still has to have some importance because it's always on him. But he's the leader of the fucking Phantom Troupe, and there must be a reason He's the founder and leader of the most powerful criminal gang in the world, arguably. Even Hisoka sees him as a worthy opponent that he salivates from the mouth at with desire to fight and defeat. Um, I've had no knowledge whatsoever up until this point to know what makes him so intimidating, so imposing, so terrifying and strong. That literally couldn't have more drastically changed this episode. But like I said, at the same time, I found him incredibly charming. Like you can see why Neon responded to so well to him. Yeah, she's naive as hell, but hey, a sheltered, overprotected 17-year-old girl being treated like an adult for once by a handsome, helpful, soft, yet well-spoken man in a suit and tie with a damn good head of hair who is seemingly genuinely interested in her, she's gonna take that bait. Okay? They share a very fascinating, genuine conversation. We know who this man is, but I don't know who this man is. You know what I'm trying to say? I didn't take Chrollo to be a man to share some heartfelt, touching comments, on the idea of the afterlife, shedding tears for a man he thought of as a friend as much as an ally. As we know, Uvogin was a founding member of the troupe who's been there from the beginning. Neon is so comfortable with him, she even confides in him her goddamn fortune-telling ability to him. Literally telling him how it works, how she does it, and even offers to tell him his fortune in front of him. I forget the exact details to her abilities. I think Light expounded upon this, right? But like how she doesn't remember her fortunes or doesn't read them herself, I don't remember. But does she know what Nen is? And furthermore, does she know that she's a specialist? Because I don't think so. Because to me, she doesn't have any knowledge, any of that knowledge. She just believes she has some sort of gift, or not even a gift, but just something she does. Since she even says her hand just seems to move on its own. We learn her past, which was very fascinating, that she didn't believe in something like an afterlife, but she does believe that fortunes, even if they're mournful, shouldn't be seen as negative. They're meant for the living, and to properly traverse through life. Even if that fortune teller was ultimately a fraud, the one that she was inspired by, she said she was incredibly inspired by that wisdom, by those words, by that person. And it changed her life in a way. And she's not a fraud. We know from the time Kurapika, Gon, and Killua were spent learning their Nen type that certain impactful life events, pretty sure Wing said this, that certain impactful life events can change or alter your Nen as you grow up. So I have to believe this event in her past was inspiring enough to trigger her Nen and enough so to make her a specialist. And that's why she became a fortune teller and has that ability. Just as Kurapika's trauma, having his entire clan destroyed, made him a specialist. But she knows nothing beyond that, I think. It is Chrollo, when they are sitting across from each other, who can use Gyo to see Nen. He can see the ghostwriter over her shoulder to know her ability is legit, it's powerful. But yeah, I just can't get over how locked in I was. Eyes glued to the screen, watching Chrollo frame by frame, who on one hand is a superb actor, a smooth liar, smooth criminal, but also displayed chunks of his true self as well. You didn't just receive one or the other. He was given his fortune, and I'll read it here. It's cryptic, but I think I understand it enough to attempt deciphering it. So, I have it written down. Okay. The calendar loses a precious component. The remaining months gather to mourn. The mourners play a melody while the 11th moon quietly rises. Okay. We see Chrollo shed a tear. I realized afterward that this would have been the actual first confirmation he's received that Uvogin has indeed been killed. Since she said her fortunes are split into multiple verses and each one corresponds to one of the weeks in the month, the first fortune verse can be to a week that already happened in the past, which is the case here. Her fortune describes the events we've seen prior. He sheds a tear for Uvogin, tears that would infuriate Gon as much as Nobunaga's did. Calendars have 12 months. There are 12 members in the Phantom Troupe. The calendar lost a month, a essential component. The troupe has lost Uvogin. The rest of them gather to mourn. All the troupe members have gathered for the auction. Their way of mourning is death and destruction in honor of Uvogin. That is the melody that plays, the requiem we hear play while the troupe goes out on their killing spree. Mourning. Neon doesn't believe in the afterlife, but Chrollo said he does. He believes in ghosts. He believes Uvogin is still out there in spirit. His presence is still felt, and he knows how Uvogin would want them to mourn his death. He wants to honor what Uvo's wishes would be, to let loose and go crazy, which Chrollo told the troupe to do so. So these key moments right here, where he is vulnerable and actually shares his feelings to Neon, these are genuine human emotions. This is Chrollo as a human being. It was this verse where he cried that told me I have so much still to learn about him. And what did I say in the beginning of this discussion? That Togashi is an amazing fucking writer. The 11th moon quietly rises. I believe this might be Hisoka, since he is the only one of the members who doesn't participate in the slaughter. And why would he take part in this bloodbath? He doesn't care about Uvogin at all. And we know Hisoka's philosophy. These pawns aren't worthy to be killed by his hand. What a bore to him that would be. He could be the 11th moon on the roof of the skyscraper, high up in silence, looking down. And I believe this could also be tied to the fact that he is an infiltrator, and his rising could mean his preparing to strike. So if Chrollo comprehends this correctly, he can anticipate Hisoka's moves. And Hisoka would not expect this at all, because how could he know that Chrollo found a fucking specialist fortune teller, okay, to spoil it? The second verse of the fortune says, "The chrysanthemum withers and falls to lie on the ground beside scarlet eyes, but you will remain supreme even after losing half your limbs." This is clearly predicting the future. It's like canon spoilers. I know what's going to happen. I don't know who the chrysanthemum is supposed to represent, but saying the flower withers and falls must translate to death. Lies on the ground beside scarlet eyes. Obviously Kurapika, but does Kurapika die? Is he the chrysanthemum, or is this somebody else or something else? Remember I wanted to predict that Kurapika might take it upon himself to remove his own eyes, perhaps. Such an insane limitation you set upon yourself would empower his Nen even more and strengthen his other senses as well, like some Daredevil type shit. Or, what's her name from Avatar The Last Airbender? But I would think that would make him no longer a specialist. I don't know if his specialist abilities directly tied to his physical scarlet eyes, and he would lose his scarlet eyes in that process, so I don't know how that works. Or his eyes are forcibly taken from him. So it might mean just his eyes are on the ground because they've been stripped from him, they've been ripped out, instead of straight up saying Killua is dead on the ground. But Chrollo will remain supreme even after losing half his limbs. So Chrollo will remain the leader of the Phantom Troupe, even after losing half of his fellow members. We know the meaning behind the spider symbol. CHROLLO is the head of the spider, and each member represents one of the legs of the spider. So, the spider will lose half its limbs, its legs. CHROLLO will lose more members of the troupe, either to Kurapika or Hisoka, or, hey, Silva, Zeno could take some out, Gon or Killua even. I don't know. Who knows? You guys do. I don't. But I said a couple episodes ago, only the strongest members will likely remain. The weaker ones will perish. Who do I see as weak? I said I think Shalnark will die. I said that maybe 10 episodes ago. Somewhere it's either the high 30s, like 37, 38, 39, or in the low 40s, like 41, 40, 41, 42. Episodes around there, I believe, is when I first said that I think Shalnark will die. And I don't even completely remember why I think he will die. I remember saying, or jokingly kind of saying, that the reason would be Shalnark's going to die because, he's the pretty boy and the world is cruel that way. We're going to kill off the pretty boy of the group. But I thought I remember there being like a line of dialogue between Shalnark and maybe Uvogin or someone that made me think he would die. Like it had too much foreshadowing, or had too much like, pay attention to this line. Maybe I'm thinking incorrectly because I know when Shalnark told Uvo, "Don't be careless," before Uvo jumped out the window, that it was obvious foreshadowing to Uvo's death. But nonetheless, I think Shalnark will die. He's been such a useful member who's done so much work for the troupe that I've seen so far, that would be a serious limb to lose. I don't think Hakanoda is important enough to keep alive. And because if we're going to talk about female characters, okay, we have Machi, we have Phaeton, I'm pretty sure is female. We have Shizuku. I don't think Hakanoda is as relevant to keep alive. And the characters we literally seen none of so far, they gotta die too, because what the hell are you doing? Benolinov and Kortopi. You're lucky I even remember those names. That's how little you've been in the show so far. What the hell have you done? They gotta die. I think everyone else is relevant and expanded upon enough so far in terms of character development that they could stay alive and, have watchers and readers get attached to them a little bit more before maybe they die. I think Kurapika will get another kill, add to his body count, add another slash mark to his kill count, and the others will fall to the people I mentioned before, maybe Silva, Zeno, whatever. Obviously, I don't think Kurapika's gonna die anytime soon. That's why I don't know about, the chrysanthemum messaging and the scarlet eyes being on the ground. Kurapika ain't gonna die anytime soon. There's like no way. I do think Tagashi is someone who would definitely be willing to kill off a main character. He's already planned that. Probably he knows he's gonna kill off main characters. Like Kurapika could certainly die. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm almost like preparing for that, and because that would fit his character arc so much, and probably, yeah, he probably will at some point in the story, manga or anime, but certainly not now. And I don't know where the story is at most present moment in the manga. So, and don't spoil. So I don't know again who the chrysanthemum is that will wither and fall. This verse has to be talking about this week, because the previous verse reference to Uvo's death, and didn't that take place last week? So CHROLLO will also know that he will lose more members. He knows Uvo is dead, and now he knows to prepare for more members to die. But I don't know how the concept works in this universe. Does it work like Back to the Future? Does it work like Lost? When you deal with time stuff or timeline events, if CHROLLO knows his fortune, can he take steps to prevent it and change the future? What's the butterfly effect here? Is it like Final Destination where it um does it work like Lost, where the line that they whatever happened happened. You cannot change the future. If Chrollo tried to prevent the fortune from coming true, it would just turn out that those actions he took are what ultimately caused that fortune to come true in the first place in the present. Like in Lost, when they went back in time, the actions they took in the past, the lies they lived in the past, the actions they took in the past didn't change anything that happened in the future for their future selves. Their actions when they went back in time made that timeline, and it influenced the present to be what it is. If you've watched Lost, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, it might be more complicated. Hopefully, you still understand what I'm talking about. And then the final verse goes, enjoy the interlude. Search out new allies. East is the direction to go. You will find one who awaits you. So it tells Chrollo to enjoy the break, the lull between the chaos. When things settle, appreciate it because it will ramp up again. It will start again. Hence, interlude, intermission. During that time, you must search out new allies. Since you will have lost half your troop, travel east from wherever Yorknew is, and you'll find an ally or someone who can help you. They'll be waiting for you. So that mystery person will already know who Chrollo is, will make himself known to him somehow because he will be waiting for him to arrive. Who that person is, there's literally no way to know who the hell that could possibly be. I don't even know where the fuck Yorknew is, let alone what the hell is east. I don't even know which direction east is on that where we are, and what the hell is to the west. Obviously, the Phantom Troupe will suffer many casualties, and Chrollo will go through it himself. He'll probably go through a lot. He's gonna have to fight. So, and to the point, he needs to find somebody to help him. Interesting, but that's gonna be weeks from now, next week or the week after, since that's the last verse. So it's taking place well into the future. So Chrollo sits down for this fascinating, introspective, deep conversation with Neon. The two talk as people. Neon tells him his fortune. Neon thought this was genuine. Hell, even I did. But none of it was. All Neon was to Chrollo was a tool. How ominous it is that Chrollo took Neon to the cemetery building. But all he wanted her for was to get through security, get to the higher floors in that auction building, then incapacitate her now that he's used her. And again, like I said during the reaction, when the guy's like slowing down the tape and saying like, anybody else would have missed it, but I can see. And it just reminded me of that scene from The Incredibles when Dash puts the tack on the teacher's seat and the teacher's playing the tape over in slow-mo, pointing out, you see where he did it? Coincidence? I think not.
He moves right there. Wait. Right there. Right as I'm sitting down. I don't know how he does it. But there's no tack on my stool before he moves, and after he moves, there's a tack. Coincidence? I think not.
I love that scene. Such a good actor, Chrollo is. Deep inside, he was still proceeding with his plans, playing the innocent acquaintance to Neon on the surface, only letting brief, honest, vulnerable emotions surface that he couldn't help, before moving on. And notice how he never actually lied to her during the whole thing. I thought that was cool too. But he's a clever cat. It was so good to watch. We also witness one of Chrollo's jaw-dropping, mind-blowing abilities. Indoor fish. I just love the names these people give their abilities. First, he kills one of the assassins with a pen went John Wick on this guy's ass. Then, out of nowhere, I see a guy plastered to the wall with chunks of his body missing, gone, yet he remains alive, crying out for help or death or mercy, whatever can come to him first. Indoor fish. Literally meaning man-eating fish that swim or float around indoors. I think those have to be conjured fish, correct? He's a conjurer, meaning he also has to have the chance to be a specialist. I have to believe the leader of the Phantom Troupe got to be a specialist, right? Why not? So the fish eats chunks off of CHROLLO'S victims, causing torture and pain, obviously. You can feel all of that happening, and they feel everything. But aura or something keeps them alive, like cauterizes the wounds or something, keeps them alive throughout that torture. The victim cannot die unless they are completely eaten or CHROLLO deemed it so by fading his indoor fish away, which I think he does by closing the book, right? Which maybe he keeps his powers in the book, which is, again, that book has to be fucking important, okay? He always has the book. Like, that is so psychopathic. Who the hell even thinks up something like this? What kind of imagination does this man have? Tagashi, what kind of imagination do you have? Fish that eat people but keep them alive. Bro. Oh wait, that reminds me. It's been a while since I added to the arm list. That's what I wanted to do here too. I feel like in arms, I feel like an indoor fish eating your arm clean off constitutes as being added to the list. So, from the beginning, Hisoka taking both arms from the guy in the tunnel before the first phase of the exam started. Hanzo, oh, well, that would be 2. Hanzo breaking Gon's arm in the final phase. Gon breaking Illumi's arm at the briefing. Guido breaking Gon's arm in their arena battle. Castro severing both of Hisoka's arms with his tiger bite fist. I think tiger bite fist, or was it the tiger fang? Hisoka impaling both of Castro's arms with his cards, crucifixion style. I don't know if we want to count those. I'm just putting those up here. Gon breaking both of Railvelt's arms. We're at 11. I think. Shit. I don't know. I'm not counting Franklin tearing entire bodies to shreds with his double machine gun. Same goes for Uvogen's rampage. When we saw arms flying all over the place. I will count Worm's broken hand after punching Uvogen. I will also count Worm's entire arm getting severed after Uvogen's Big Bang impact. You could count Rabid Dog having his hand impaled by a skull fracture. Kurapika broke his arm fighting Uvogen. That's 15, I think. No, yeah, 15. But he also managed to fuck up Uvo's arm too. 16. And then we have that assassin's arm eaten off by the indoor fish. So 17, right? 17 at least. I have the commitment to keep this list alive, but I'm too lazy to keep an exact count anymore. So I don't know the total. I think it's 17 that we're counting. But to end this, let's be real. We all know what the real highlight of this episode was. CHROLLO with his book. He closes his book. He takes a conductor's stance and begins conducting their melody. The troupe plays their Requiem. The famous piece they slaughter to is the rich, beautiful, and epic Mozart's Lacrimosa from Mozart's Requiem, a funerary mass. And it's an extraordinarily moving piece. I've been in the presence of it being performed by church choir, brings tears to your eyes. And that's the point here, isn't it? Chrollo conducts his Deus Irae, the day of wrath. The troupe mourns. Chrollo hopes Uvo is listening. While fortunes are for the living, funerals, in his opinion, are very much for the dead. Chrollo recites his fortune amidst nothing else but silence as the troupe annihilates people down below as if he were standing in a moment of silence for the dead. The sound returns max volume with the battering of machine gun fire, the snapping of broken necks, waves of explosions. The night is fierce and drenched with blood, yet somehow overwhelmingly sad, says Chrollo. That is the highest quality of Hunter x Hunter, my greatest compliment. Why Hunter x Hunter is this amazing? To have an orgy of violence take place in the same presence of tears and grief. Tagashi writes such that he creates a perfect blend between a sense of absolute, utter epicness and deep, meaningful feelings of intimacy. What exists from that are masterpieces. Only the best and greatest can accomplish this across film, across reading, across anime. Ugh. Are there any other smaller bits of story I forgot to cover? What did I want? Is this falling off? Oh, I thought I have a giant poster frame above my wall, and I thought it was falling down. I got scared for a second. Oh, I forgot. Kurapika and his dowsing chain. Kurapika has developed his chain ability to cover as many bases as possible, it seems, when it comes to being an effective assassin and hunter against evil. He has thought of everything. Like, he just seems so over OP, so much better than everybody else. We've seen his advanced offensive chains. We've seen his advanced defensive and healing chain. I thought we've seen the extent to what I figured was his most basic all-around chain, his dowsing chain. I am wrong. Not only can he use it as a melee weapon, a blunt force weapon, even a ranged weapon, he has used it as like a divine lie detector. He can expose the truth and the dishonest. But in this episode, he can also use it to pinpoint the location of others. It is insane. He can interrogate and track with it. Now, Kurapika, he's thought of everything. Speaking in terms of the character, that's what I say. When I say Kurapika has thought of everything, I'm speaking in terms of like, we're in the world, we're in the universe. I'm speaking in the mind of the character, but you also have to then go outward. Let's go meta and say, God damn, Tagashi thinks of everything. His creativity is inspiring. Glad I included that. I'm glad I didn't forget that because I did want to talk about that. Whew. This is my favorite discussion in a while. I think my longest discussion in a while, too. This episode was so dense. I had so much to converse with you. I think I absorbed and comprehended everything well and hopefully conveyed that to you well. I cannot fucking wait for the next episode. All these power players in one spot, new ones that are about to be thrown into the mix, reunions that I can't wait to see happen. Many character interactions I want to watch. And again, like I said, not even an action, but simple dialogue. Well, I think that is where I will end the video discussion today. If you made it to the end, before you go, liking the video to support the series and subscribing if you haven't already, it's greatly appreciated. Keep the conversation going down in the comments below. This was a big episode. Follow me on my socials. Remember, I always offer early access and exclusive Let's Watch series to my supporters over on Patreon. Having said all that, and with that said, so long, farewell, until next time, Thank you. Stay dangerous. Be yourself. And I hope you have a good one. Peace.